Hello, dear friends. Have you noticed how popular yoga has become recently, especially among us seniors? It's truly wonderful to see so many people embracing this practice for better health, flexibility, and peace of mind. But, and this is an important, but not all yoga is created equal, especially when we consider our bodies as they age. While the intention is wellness, sometimes, without the right knowledge, we can unknowingly put ourselves at risk. Today, we're going to talk about navigating the world of yoga safely, ensuring that our journey to health doesn't accidentally lead to harm. We'll focus on some specific concerns, like the risk of hip fractures, which can be a serious issue for older adults. Understanding which yoga poses might be problematic is absolutely key to practicing safely and effectively. So, let's explore this together, shall we? Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 10. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. We want to make sure your yoga practice is a source of joy and strength, not a cause for concern. The rise in yoga's popularity among seniors is fantastic, but it comes with a hidden side we need to address. Beneath the surface of this wellness trend lie potential risks if we're not careful. Things like hip fractures can, unfortunately, be a consequence of performing certain movements that aren't suited for our mature bodies. That's why it's so crucial to be informed about which yoga postures might be best to avoid or modify significantly. Let's delve into 5 specific poses that can be particularly risky, and we'll break down why, one by one. Our first pose to discuss is the deep squat. You might see this in various exercise routines, and it can be beneficial for younger, more agile bodies. However, for us seniors, it can be what I call a pressure balm for our joints. Think about it. Our bones and joints have carried us through many decades. They've seen a lot of life. The cartilage might be thinner, and the overall joint structure might be less resilient than it once was. A deep squat places immense pressure, particularly on the knees and hips. It's also a pose that requires very precise form to be done safely, and achieving that perfect form can be quite challenging. If the alignment isn't just right, or if the pressure is too much, it can easily lead to meniscus damage in the knee. And more worryingly, it significantly increases the risk of a hip fracture, especially if there's any underlying bone density loss. So deep squats are generally one to approach with extreme caution, or perhaps avoid altogether in their most intense form. Next on our list are high difficulty twists. These are poses where the torso is rotated significantly, often while in a seated or standing position. While gentle twists can be beneficial for spinal mobility, the more extreme versions present a real challenge for older bodies. As we age, the flexibility of our spine and other joints naturally tends to decrease. The discs between our vertebrae might be less hydrated and more compressed. High-difficulty twisting movements can excessively squeeze and contort the spine and the hip joints. This isn't about a gentle, therapeutic rotation. It's about pushing the body into a range of motion it may no longer be comfortable or safe with. Such forceful twisting can put undue stress on the vertebrae and the hip sockets, increasing the risk of injury, including fractures. It's all about respecting our current limits and not trying to replicate poses that demand a level of flexibility we might have had years ago. Our third area of caution concerns single-leg standing, balance poses. Think of the classic tree pose, or perhaps more advanced one-legged balances. These are often touted for improving balance, but for seniors, they can be a bit like a fragile rooster standing on one leg. Precarious. One of the natural changes that can come with aging is a decline in our proprioception, which is our sense of body position, and consequently, our balance can become less steady. Maintaining balance on one leg requires a lot of strength, stability, and concentration. If our balance isn't what it used to be, attempting these poses without adequate support can be very risky. It's easy to lose your center of gravity, to wobble, and, unfortunately, to fall. And as we know, a fall for an older adult can have serious consequences, with hip fractures being a primary concern. So, while working on balance is important, we need to choose methods that don't put us at high risk of falling. Now let's talk about excessive forward bends. This is when we bend forward from the hips, perhaps trying to touch our toes with straight legs, or folding deeply over our legs in a seated position. While some degree of forward bending is a natural movement, pushing it too far can create a dual challenge for both our lower back and our hips. When we go into a deep forward bend, especially if we round our back too much, a significant amount of pressure is placed on the lumbar spine, the lower back. This area is already prone to issues like disc problems for many people as they age, but it's not just the back. An excessive forward bend can also overstretch the muscles and ligaments around the hips, including the hamstrings and the glutes, and even strain the hip joint itself. This overstretching, or forcing the body into a deep flexion, can increase the vulnerability of the hip area to injury. It's about finding a gentle stretch, not pushing to an extreme that compromises our joints. Finally, let's consider inversion poses. These are postures where the head is below the heart, such as headstands, shoulder stands, or even very deep downward-facing dog poses held for a long time. These can be a thrilling challenge in the wrong way for our cardiovascular system, particularly our brain's blood vessels. As we get older, the elasticity of our blood vessels naturally tends to decrease. They become a bit stiffer. When you invert your body, blood rushes towards your head. This causes a rapid increase in blood pressure within the head and neck. For blood vessels that are less able to expand and contract smoothly, this sudden surge can put them under considerable stress. There's also the issue of neck strength. In poses like headstands or shoulder stands, the neck has to support a significant amount of body weight. If the neck muscles aren't exceptionally strong, or if there are any underlying issues with the cervical spine, this can be very dangerous, potentially leading to neck injuries or even impacting blood flow. So, full inversions are generally not recommended for seniors unless they have a long-standing, very advanced practice and specific medical clearance. Now, after hearing all that, you might be thinking, so, should I just avoid yoga altogether? Absolutely not. Please don't think that. The key is not to avoid yoga, but to practice it wisely and safely. There are so many wonderful, gentle, and highly beneficial ways to incorporate yoga into your life. For example, simple seated stretches are fantastic. Think about gentle neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, or side bends while seated comfortably in a chair. You can also do gentle spinal twists in a chair, which are much safer than the high-difficulty ones we discussed. Warm, gentle standing balance exercises can also be very helpful, but with a modification. Perhaps practice near a wall or with a sturdy chair nearby for support. This way, you can work on your balance without the high risk of a fall, and there are some foundational principles for safe practice that apply to everyone, but especially to us. First, always warm up before you begin any yoga practice. Gentle movements to get the blood flowing and prepare your muscles and joints. Second, control the intensity. This is so incredibly important. Listen to your body. Yoga is not a competition. It's not about pushing yourself to pain. If a pose feels uncomfortable or causes any strain, ease off or skip it. No pain, no gain does not apply here. Gentle and consistent is the way. And after your practice, take time for a proper cool down. This includes gentle stretching and relaxation to help your body recover and integrate the benefits of the practice. Most importantly, remember that every single body is different. What works wonderfully for your friend might not be right for you, and that's perfectly okay. Always be ready to adjust the practice to suit your own current condition, your energy levels on any given day, and any specific health concerns you might have. So, my dear friends, as we wrap up our discussion today, I want to leave you with this thought. Your health is truly priceless, and making wise, informed choices about how we care for our bodies is absolutely key, especially as we navigate our golden years. When it comes to practicing yoga, the most important takeaway is to be aware of and avoid those potentially dangerous postures we've talked about. Instead, choose the safe, gentle, and effective methods that truly nourish your body and mind. I always encourage seeking guidance from a qualified yoga instructor, particularly one who has experience and training in working with older adults. They can help you understand your body's needs, modify poses safely, and develop a practice that is scientifically sound and perfectly suited to you. With the right approach, you can absolutely enjoy all the wonderful benefits that yoga has to offer: improved flexibility, better balance, reduced stress, and a greater sense of peace and well-being. Let's make our wellness journey a safe, joyful, and truly health-giving one. Thank you for listening. Take good care of yourselves and be well.